Doctor Todd could soon be unmasked in Emmerdale by a surprising resident, according to fan speculation. Loyal viewers of the ITV drama believe recent scenes hinted that one particular character is beginning to grow suspicious of Todd's actions. After relentlessly targeting medical student Jacob Sugden for weeks, Todd shifted her focus onto Charity Dingle. She eventually discovered the truth surrounding baby Leyla and uncovered the secret about the child's real parents. Since learning the truth, Todd has been demanding huge sums of money from Charity in return for keeping quiet. Upcoming spoilers reveal that a panicked Charity finally opens up to Chas Dingle about everything she has been facing, leading the pair to come up with a desperate plan. Together, they attempt to find a way to gather the money needed to keep Todd silent and prevent the truth about Sarah and Jacob's baby from being exposed. However, many viewers are convinced Chas will not be the person who ultimately brings Todd down. Fans also doubt that either Charity or Jacob will be responsible for Todd finally facing consequences for her actions. Instead, viewers now suspect another character connected to them. Both could uncover the full truth and decide to step in. During a recent episode, Charity approached Ruby Miligan with an offer to purchase her share of the pub. Although Ruby appeared interested, her husband Caleb Miligan was immediately suspicious. He quickly noticed Charity seemed unusually desperate and questioned whether something serious was troubling her. Even though Charity refused to reveal the real reason behind her behaviour, it was obvious she was hiding something. Caleb appeared unconvinced by her excuses and made it clear he believed there was more going on beneath the surface. He also promised he would support Charity if she ever needed help, leading fans to believe he could soon take matters into his own hands and finally stop Todd. Sharing their theories online, one fan commented that Caleb clearly realized something was wrong after the latest episode and would probably continue digging until he uncovered the truth. The viewer also said it would be good to see Caleb involved in more major storylines. Another fan predicted Caleb would ultimately be the one to end Todd's scheme, while others agreed that recent scenes strongly hinted in that direction. Some viewers even suggested Cain and Caleb could join forces against Todd. Many more fans echoed the same theory, insisting Caleb was the obvious choice to expose her. One viewer pointed out that there must have been a reason Caleb promised to help Charity with anything she needed, while another claimed he already seemed determined to take Todd down. Cain Dingle experienced a major emotional breakthrough with Moira in Emmerdale, following his humiliating arrest, but it wasn't the night in a police cell that affected him the most. The fan-favourite villager recently underwent an important operation for prostate cancer, yet he has continued struggling to cope with the lasting effects of the procedure. One issue that particularly upset him was having to wear a catheter for 2 weeks after surgery. Cain found the entire situation deeply embarrassing and even exaggerated his pain in an attempt to remain in hospital longer so he could avoid facing people. After finally having the catheter removed, Cain decided to celebrate by heading to the pub for drinks with Caleb Miligan. To him, getting rid of the tube felt like proof that his life was slowly returning to normal again. However, after drinking more than he should have, Cain staggered home slightly intoxicated. During the journey, he was suddenly reminded that his body had changed more than he wanted to admit when he urgently needed the toilet. Cain stopped by the roadside to relieve himself, but unfortunately for him, PC Swirling and another officer arrived at exactly the wrong moment. The incident resulted in Cain being arrested for public urination, as well as being drunk and disorderly, leaving him furious and embarrassed. When he finally returned home the following day, Cain attempted to hide the truth from Moira by lying about where he had spent the night. Unfortunately for him, Moira had already learned that he had been locked up in a police cell. Throughout the day, Cain wrestled with whether he should admit what was truly upsetting him. In the end, he chose to be honest with his wife and revealed that the worst part of the whole ordeal was losing control of his bladder on the way home. He also explained that the officer had assumed he was simply extremely drunk, which was why he ended up arrested. As the conversation continued, Cain reflected on how much his body has changed since the operation. He admitted he can no longer handle alcohol the way he once could, and realized this was another sign that life after surgery would not be the same as before. Although he clearly dislikes the reality of the situation, he acknowledged that he must eventually adapt to these changes. The moment marked a huge step forward for Cain emotionally. Opening up about his feelings has never come naturally to him, so admitting to Moira that his pride had suffered because of his bladder problems showed real vulnerability. The question now is whether Cain can continue moving forward and accept the new reality of his recovery. Cami Hadid sparks major suspicion in Emmerdale tonight after being discovered with a petrol can and a lighter, leading some villagers to fear he could be responsible for the mysterious farm fires. The shocking moment immediately places Cami high on the suspect list in the ongoing arson storyline surrounding Emmerdale Farm. However, the truth behind his behaviour is far different from what everyone first assumes. During Wednesday's episode, Robert Sugden becomes increasingly consumed by paranoia as he desperately tries to uncover who has been starting the dangerous blazes. His obsession grows so intense that he even wrongly accuses Mackenzie Boyd of secretly being the fire starter terrorizing the village. Later, tensions rise further when Robert and Aaron Dingle discover Cami acting suspiciously in one of the fields while carrying fuel and a lighter. Convinced they have finally caught the culprit, the pair immediately confront him and accuse him of being responsible for the fires that have caused chaos in recent weeks. However, the real explanation emerges later when Cami opens up to his close friend Vinnie Dingle. Cami admits he has been hiding the truth about his financial situation and reveals he is completely broke. He explains that he had considered destroying his own car and blaming the mystery arsonist in order to claim insurance money. When Vinnie points out that such a reckless scheme could easily land him in prison, Cami admits the idea was far from perfect. He then reveals the heartbreaking reason behind his desperation, confessing that he has secretly become homeless. Cami explains that he lost his flat some time ago after falling behind on bills and maxing out credit cards. As the debts mounted up, he found himself unable to cope financially and eventually ended up without a place to live. He also admits he has been trying to hide the situation because he feels ashamed, adding that living independently had become far more expensive than he could manage. The emotional revelation comes after Emmerdale producers announced plans to tackle the issue of hidden homelessness through Cami's storyline. The character has quickly become one of the soap's most popular newcomers, making the storyline especially impactful. Emmerdale continues airing on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.